Hello and welcome to Nick's Allotment Diary.
You join me today on the allotment. It's a bit of a breezy day, so apologies if there's any wind noise on the camera. Now, a little while ago I talked about the possibility of weed killer damage on my tomatoes. I've had quite a few comments on that video, and a few people have indicated that maybe it isn't weed killer damage and it might be transplant shock or tomatoes getting particularly cold. So I have treated them with some Epsom salts. They do start to look a little bit better than they were a week or so ago. And the other thing that I've been thinking about is, if the bed was affected by weed killer, would weeds germinate, or would they be inhibited by the weed killer? Because if you have a look in this bed, there are quite a lot of broadleaf weeds, so there is a possibility, I think, that I was mistaken. The other thing I'm going to do is leave this potato plant where it is. So potatoes are affected by the aminopyralid weed killer. They are one of the species that are particularly affected. So I'm going to leave this potato plant that was basically a potato that was just left in the soil last year where it is, and see how that one actually behaves. Here's a close-up of the tomato plants now. So some of the new growth is quite green, so I am quite hopeful that maybe I was mistaken. So what I'm going to do with this bed now is to hoe it, just to hoe off all the weeds that are there, and I'm going to plant my sweet corn in an area of it, because sweet corn is a member of the grass family and therefore wouldn't be affected by the aminopyralid weed killer if there was any, because the weed killer is designed to kill broadleaf weeds. So I'll get on now and just give this area a hoe. So the variety of sweet corn I'll be planting is a variety called Gold Crest. Now these plants, as you can see, they're about a foot tall. They've been in these root trainers and they're definitely ready to go out. That they're yellowing quite a bit, so should have been in the ground before now. So I'm going to plant them about a foot to 18 inches apart. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plant them in a block rather than in rows. That's because sweet corn are wind pollinated, so you need the plants to be able to pollinate each other. So I'm going to use this bulb planter to mark the position of where I'm going to put each of the plants, and just core out a hole. I'm going to do a block of 12 plants, so 4 by 3. So there we go, we have a block of 12 holes, and these are where I'm going to plant my sweet corn plants. So as I mentioned, I've been growing these in these root trainers. As you can see, they're emerging out of the bottom of the root trainer, so they're definitely ready. But I'm really pleased. Look at the decent size root system we've got on these sweet corn. So they should get off to a good start as soon as they're planted in the holes. So I'll just pull out each of the plants, try and get as much of the root out as possible. Very nice root system. The holes are just about the right depth to plant the corn in. The bulb planter's taken a core out of soil, and then all I need to do really is just push the soil around them and firm them in. So there we go, we have a block of 12 sweet corn plants, all spaced about a foot apart, I'd say, just over a foot, about 30 centimetres. And what I'm going to do now is give them a water with some seaweed extract, just to see if I can perk them up. The plants do look healthy, but there is a little bit of yellowing to the leaves. Because of the possible contamination to the soil, what I've decided to do is start off my squash in buckets. So what I've done is planted the squash in a bucket of multi-purpose compost with some chicken manure pellets added to it, and what I'm going to do is sink those into this central bed. So if there is some weed killer contamination, hopefully that should isolate them a little bit from it. Not completely, of course, because some of it will possibly wash into the compost. And if there's no contamination, at least they'll have had a good start. So I've dug a hole about 18 inches deep, and I've sunk the flower bucket into it, and I'm just going to backfill around it now. So I've now got 3 squashes planted in this bed. So I've got the pink banana squash, which is a seed from the Phil squash that I've received from Erica and Liz Zorab. I've got a butternut squash here, so that one's a winter squash, and I've also planted a courgette here. This one's a yellow courgette. I have got some other squashes that are not quite ready to come out yet, and they'll go out in the next couple of weeks. In the mail this week I received a parcel, and in it was this Sutton seed box, and it was sent to me by Rue of Rue's Life channel. She had a little competition on her channel and I won it, and in the box there's plenty of nice seeds. There's some beans here, more French beans, carrots, sweet corn, beets, tomatoes, cabbages, all sorts of nice seeds. So thanks very much, Rue, very much appreciated. If you'd like to check out Rue's channel, I'll include a link in the description below this video. She's got loads of things going on. She's got a polytunnel, she's got horses, she grows loads of things outside. So say hello to Rue and say that I sent you.
Thanks very much for joining me at Nick's Allotment. I'll see you again next time.